Learning the art of happiness, the Bhagavad Gita way. So we see here a face which is very sad, and we all are willing to make that sad face happy, the result. But what do we need to add to a sad face to make it happy, the missing factor? That is not known to the people. And they try to put various means. And what is the result of that? We will see. And before that, let us dedicate this session to His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada is our spiritual master and the founder Acharya of worldwide Hare Krishna movement. So many things we have tried to put. We have tried to put so many variables in the equation so that a sad face can be made happy. Dukhi aadmi ko sukhi kar sakeं. And what is the result of that? Tremendous endeavor has happened over the centuries, and especially in the past few centuries, to increase our happiness. Resources, everything, efforts, comforts have increased like anything. And the result is the major agenda of World Government Summit last year was happiness. इतने सारे चीजों के पीछे हम दौड़े सुख के लिए, वो चीजें तो शायद मिल गई लेकिन वो मिस हो गया जिसके लिए हम दौड़े थे, and that is happiness. So governments of the world, they meet to decide, to discuss the very important factors. And the major agenda in 2018, it was happiness. So what is this happening? We are working very hard to become happy, and happiness is now an agenda for discussion. Uh, every person in the world is working hard just for happiness. So why happiness has gone missing? And the world has no idea. The governments have got the top brains, the best people of the world, the topmost industrialists, chairmen, and CEOs. They become advisors to the government, to the presidents. And all those people are guiding the best brains of the world. Still, they have no clue what is that thing which is missing, why people are unhappy. And the best brains of the world, they have gone through, rather, they have produced the best literature of the world. Thus, it proves we need guidance which is not of this world, because all the knowledge of this world has utterly failed. All those people who are larger than life, and they are guiding us, they are role models, they are emblem of today's advanced society, they have failed utterly. Nobody has any idea why people are not happy, not becoming happy. So thus we need to understand these worldly knowledge, worldly affairs are of no help now. And thus happiness becomes the highest enrolled course at Yale University, one of the top universities of the world. People have studied all the subjects, and now the highest enrolled course is the happiness course. New Delhi government has made it mandatory to teach happiness curriculum. Happiness is a subject now. If we went to schools to become happy, we wanted a job to become happy, all that is happening, but happiness is not happening. Mumbai government is also trying something. Landmark Retail Group is trying something. IIT Kharagpur, one of the oldest IITs, I think it's the oldest one in fact, and still among the top 4 IITs of India. It has set up Center of Excellence for Science of Happiness. So they have everything. They have a medical college also inside the campus now. They teach MBA also, they teach everything. And then they realize one department is missing. So they set up Center of Excellence for Happiness. IIT Kharagpur is having maximum suicides. One suicide happened just 2 days ago. So why? What is causing? People have best technological brains over there, but still people are not happy. So now the whole world is discussing how to become happy, how to become happy. So Prahlad Maharaj. So let us understand from a boy who is just 5 years old. he is able to figure out what the best people of the world are utterly unable to. How come he got this knowledge? This is the knowledge of Guru Parampara. So, if we try to figure out things on our own, we are helpless, as we have discussed, by the conditioning of the body. And we will always exhibit conditional responses. If we are in tamoguna, we will have a rabbit-like response. So tiger is coming to eat me, let me close my eyes. There is no tiger. Let me sleep, let me drink, let me forget the reality. If we are passionate, we will do very hard work and simply increase more miseries in life. So depending upon how our body is conducted, we will have some responses. However, all these things do not help. So Prahlad, now we are going to have very nice festival, Narsimha Chaturdashi. It falls on 6th of May, Wednesday. So we should all fast on that day till moonrise. Very nice festival. Lord Narsingadev appeared to save his devotee Prahlad on this auspicious day. So Prahlad, how he got such knowledge? Because when he was in the womb of his mother, Narad Muni spoke this wonderful knowledge to Kayadhu, Prahlad's mother. So although she was lost in the thoughts of husband and being less intelligent, she forgot the teachings. But Prahlad, he understood, heard very nicely from the womb itself. So thus a person need not be very very grown up physically. A person need not have great degrees. He simply needs to hear from a proper guru. Or who is a guru? Who simply repeats the instruction of Krishna. Who has received knowledge from his guru? The change should start from God himself. So God can give perfect knowledge about this world, and those people who come in parampara from God, they can give us perfect knowledge. So Prahlad Maharaj in 7th Canto, 9th chapter, verse number 42, he gives this very, very amazing formula for happiness. You all would be surprised to understand the meaning. So this verse says, Sukhaye dukh mokshaye sankalpa iha karminaha sada apnoti haya dukkham anihaya sukha vritaha. So what does it mean? So as we discussed in one of the sessions, the real yoga session, there is one category called karmi, in which most of today's civilization falls. Karmi, Jnani, Tapasvi, Yogi, these are various categories of people who are trying to solve the problems of life. And what is a Karmi? Karmi thinks by working hard, enjoying the results of my activities, I'll become happy in life. A fruitive worker, he is called Karmi, who works hard to enjoy the fruit of his activities. So Karmi has one sankalp, one determination. What is the determination of a Karmi, of a hard worker, a person who wants to enjoy the fruits of his activities? Two objectives only. There is no third objective in an ordinary person's life, materialist's life. Only two objectives. Which are two objectives? That is indicated by first two words of the shloka. One is sukhai, another is dukha mokshai. Sukhai means to increase sukh, increase pleasure. Dukh mokshai, freedom from misery. These are only two objectives. I am hungry, so now let me try to reduce my hunger. This is called dukh mokshai. I am having fever. Now let me try to solve this feverish situation. I am not having a place to live. Let me build or purchase a place to live. A person is constantly trying to solve the problems of his life. That is called dukkha mokshai. And what is sukhai? Increase happiness. Or let me increase my comforts. Let me have a nice car, a bigger car, or increase luxuries of life. So only two objectives, increase happiness and mitigate distress. सुख को बढ़ाना है, दुख को कम करना है. केवल ये दो काम होते हैं एक भौतिकवादी के. और जब इन दो लक्ष्यों के प्रति वो काम करता है, when he works for these two objectives, he doesn't get two objectives. He always, sada apnoti, always he attains one thing. एंड व्हाट इज दैट वन थिंग? क्या मिलता है उसको? जब सुख को बढ़ाने के लिए और दुख को कम करने के लिए काम करता है तो उसको केवल एक चीज मिलती है, ना उसका सुख बढ़ता है ना दुख कम होता है. नीदर ही गेट्स हैप्पीनेस नॉर मिटिगेशन ऑफ डिस्ट्रेस. दुखम अनिहया दुखम, ही ऑलवेज आपनोति सदा. सदा आपनोति, always such a person who is working to increase happiness and reduce misery, he always gets one thing, that is more and more misery in his life. Oh, then how to become happy? Anihaya, a person who does not work in this direction to increase happiness and reduce distress. Sukhavrita, he is covered with happiness. Avrita means covered, Sukh means happiness. So, very amazing shloka it is. In this material world, every materialist desires to achieve happiness and diminish his distress, and therefore he acts accordingly. Actually, however, one is happy as long as one does not endeavor for happiness. As soon as one begins his activities for happiness, his conditions of distress begin. Very amazing shloka. As soon as one begins his activities for happiness, his conditions of distress begin. So some people were asking the other day when I showed this thing. Those who are new, they must not be knowing. So this slide we saw in our first session also, that our country is trying to become very, very advanced, trying to achieve few parameters, try to enter the G5, G7, that group, try to become a first world country, have nice defense, have nice, very, very clean country, strong economy, and all these things, employment, and the country which ranks number one in all the parameters. What is the situation of that country? Third most depressed nation of the world, overworked and over medicated. US is third most depressed nation, and for last many many years it has maintained its position as being one of the top three depressed nations of the world. Not just the youngsters, even teenagers, everyone is, the kids 14 to 17 years, they are in depression. So when the teenager is also in depression, where life should be full of happiness and they are happy go lucky, but they are also, suicide rates are increasing, sharply increasing in young Americans. They have all the comforts, they need not have various stresses of life also. But then why it is happening? And the second country we discussed was China, and the top country was India. These three countries, they play among the top three ranks of the most depressed nation of the world. So somebody may wonder, okay, America is rich, ठीक है, पैसे में मोह माया है, पैसा पाके आदमी दुखी हो जाता है. अरे तो इंडिया तो गरीब है, इंडिया क्यों दुखी है? China is different league. China is also under stress. So why they are under stress? So nobody has any clue. But Prahlad Maharaj gives the clue in Srimad Bhagavatam. What is the clue? The clue is, as soon as a person starts planning for his happiness, working towards his happiness, his condition of distress immediately begins. So आप जीवन में कितना दुखी रहेंगे, how much stress you will have in life, it is directly proportional to how much you are working hard to become happy in life. It is amazing, isn't it? We think if I work hard to become happy, I'll actually become happy. But no, sir, it is the other way around. The more you work hard, जितना ज्यादा आप सुखी होने का प्रयास करेंगे जीवन में, आप उतना ही ज्यादा दुख पाएंगे. ये लिखा है भागवतम में, सारे ग्रंथों के निचोड़ में, द एसेंस ऑफ ऑल द वैदिक लिटरेचर्स, वेदांत सूत्र, दैट इज भागवतम. Anihaya. But when a person does not work with this determination, I want to increase happiness, I want to mitigate distress, such a person is happy in this world. So the whole civilization is motivated to work hard to become happy, but see what what is happening, and we can practically see, because in past few centuries earlier people were satisfied. इंडिया में कहते हैं उत्तम खेती मध्यम बान अधम चाकरी भीख समान. So when Britishers came to India, they were handful. They were not having any people to work for them. Now what do? So that is why they started this education system, because they saw in India's education system, anybody who goes to school, he does not pick up a job. Only Shudras were picking up jobs. So what to do? These educated people, they don't take up jobs because our education teaches us freedom. If you are 10 to 12 hours every day, there is no liberty to you. You are somebody's servant. You have to carry out their tasks. It could be government servant or some private body servant, but you are servant. So a servant cannot be happy. So happiness is only possible when a person is actually free. So what is this education? After education, when you do not have, so that is why Prabhupada says this education is making people dogs. Dog is only happy if dog has got master. Otherwise, you see street dogs, they are always hungry. Somebody is throwing stones, somebody is beating with a stick, Another dog is trying to bark and bite that dog. So his situation is very, very pathetic. That is why at night they howl. They are always very hungry. So unless the dog has master, dog's life is miserable. In a similar fashion, in today's education system, unless a person behaves like a dog, he agrees to serve some master for the entire life, he cannot remain happy. Otherwise, Varnashrama system, the Gurukul education system of Bharatvarsha is different. Any person who goes to Gurukul, he will never take up a job. It is against your intelligence and self-esteem. How you can work like a servant for other person. So Uttam Kheti, the best is Kheti. Just maintain your body and soul together. 3 months you work in a year and focus on spiritual life. Uttam Kheti, that is best occupation. Madham Ban, you cannot do that. Then business you do, that is intermediate. Adham Chakri, Adham means Chakri. If a person is doing service, he is doing job. Adham Chakri, Bheek Saman, ये भीख के जैसे माना जाता है. It is like begging for alms. So in India, people would never do job. So thus India was happy country. People were satisfied. अरे खाने को दो रोटी चाहिए. If ज़्यादा पैसा बढ़ाने से सुख बढ़ता नहीं है. People were having this understanding. They were taught to remain satisfied in any situation. And today people read, stay hungry, stay foolish, always remain dissatisfied. So entire life, whatever a person may have, he will always crib and remain dissatisfied. So thus people were happy, and now you see what is happening in society. Endeavor to become happy has increased like anything. People are working very hard, and thus we can see there is no need of having a great intelligence to understand this. People are working more hard to become happy. Lakshminivas Mittal says. So he is one of the richest people of Indian origin and in London. So some people asked him, what is your success mantra? आप इतना पैसे वाले सक्सेसफुल कैसे हो? लोग पैसे वाले को सक्सेस मानते हैं, और वेदों में जो पैसा ज्यादा कमाना चाहता है उसको थर्ड क्लास बोला जाता है. फर्स्ट क्लास इज ब्राह्मण, जो अपने आप को गरीब रखता है हमेशा, सिर्फ ही वांट्स टू अंडरस्टैंड ट्रुथ, सर्व गॉड. सेकंड क्लास इज क्षत्रियाज, एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर्स. थर्ड क्लास इज बिजनेसमैन. वो समझता नहीं है भाई पैसे कमाने में कोई सुख नहीं है, तो दैट इज कॉल्ड थर्ड क्लास इंटेलिजेंस. उसको हम लोग फर्स्ट क्लास मानते हैं आजकल. So anyway, so they asked Lakshmi Nivas Mittal that what is your secret mantra? So he says hard work. In my time, people were not working hard, so I became successful by hard work. But now the situation is different. Now everyone is working hard, yet he tells. So how do you guide the generation now? So he tells, because everyone is working hard, you have to work even harder. Just see, they have no sense. Where is the limit for this? So he agrees everyone is working hard now, and we can see from the result of this hard work is increased stress, depression, anxiety, disorders in the life of people. So as soon as you work to increase happiness and mitigate distress, your misery begins in life. So why this thing is happening? Let us analyze. So there are three kinds of happiness which a living entity can enjoy. First happiness is Indriya Priti, that is enjoyment of senses. Second is Brahma Sukha, that is happiness of liberation. When a person becomes free from the process of birth and death, there is a science how to do it, the science of yoga. In such liberated state, when he is not affected by laws of nature, he experiences unlimited happiness. That is called Brahma Sukha. Unlimited compared to sense gratification, enjoyment of this world. And higher than that, the highest pleasure is Bhakti Rasamrita, the nectar of devotion. When a person engages in the service of Krishna, then that happiness is much, much, much higher, unlimited times higher than the happiness of even moksha or liberation, which is called Brahma Sukh. So today people have just one idea of happiness, and that is sense gratification. खूब अच्छे से खा लो पेट भर के, जो जो जिह्वा बोले उसको चखा दो. Whatever your ears are demanding, fulfill the demand. Your eyes are demanding, go watch movies entire day, sleep entire day and night, whatever you wish. Just enjoy the senses. This is our concept of happiness. However, what is a mistake in this? Why, when we strive to get this happiness, happiness goes away? Because there are some principles which are very important. Which are those principles? First is concoction. I'll explain all this. Second is itching. Third is salt. Fourth is coin. And last is accord. Not last, there are many principles. We are discussing just five. So, concoction. What does it mean, concoction? So, all the happiness, material happiness that we aspire for is mentally concocted. Mental concoction. It is figment of your imagination. ये मानसिक भ्रम है. कैसे मानसिक भ्रम है? Just like somebody was studying in school and then suddenly hears, oh, that person has cleared aims, he has cleared aims, he has cleared NEET or some, or he has cleared IIT, or he has become CA. So then he starts thinking, oh, CA, 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 when will I become CA? How will I become CA? That is very good. And then he works very hard for it. And then if he does not get it, he becomes under stress. So was he actually thinking I should become CA right from the time of his birth? No. So it is mental concoction in association of some people. So these material happinesses are not actual happiness. In association of those people who are similarly inclined, a person develops such mental concoctions. If a person meets some people who have geared up for, let's say, IIT preparation, he will think IIT, 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 and then he will feel, oh, if I become an IIT and I'll become very, very happy. And as we discussed, 90% of the fresh IITians, they are dissatisfied in the college. But no, he thinks, oh, if I get that, I get there, I'll become very, very happy. This mental concoction. Or for that matter, a young boy was walking and then he sees a young girl, he meets a young girl, and then in the association, he starts thinking, oh, if I get that girl, I'll be very, very happy. And then if the girl is not there, I cannot be happy. This mental concoction. Were you always thinking about that girl or that boy when you did not meet? No, because I met and then I created some imagination in my mind, some mental concoction. Now I cannot be happy without him, without her. So this is called mental concoction. You were not having such aspiration, such desire before, but by association, we develop such desires. By watching cricket, 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 a person becomes mad after cricket. So had he never come across cricket, he would never have developed such attachment for cricket. But by association, we develop such desires. We associate with commerce people, oh, CA, if I don't become CA. If I associate with technical people, IIT. Medical people, oh, AIMS, I have to clear. We associate with some boy or girl, oh, I want that boy or girl, I cannot be happy without that. If we associate with some movie promo, oh, if I don't watch this movie, oh, I should watch this movie, or it is coming, I need to do it. So by association, we develop such desire, oh, I'll be happy. So thus, it is not real happiness, it is mental concoction, figment of your imagination, which you develop by association. It is not real happiness. Second principle, itching. What does itching mean? So these principles are beautifully explained again in the teachings of Prahlad Maharaj. So Prahlad Maharaj mentions in 7th canto 9th chapter verse number 45, Yan mathunadi grahamedi sukham hituchham kanduyanena karayoriva dukkha dukkham tripyanti neha kripana bahu dukkha bhajah kandutivat manasijam vishaheta dhiraha. So very nice shloka Prahlad Maharaj is telling. He tells, Yan Mathunadi Grahamedhi. So there are two words for householders. One is Grahamedhi, another is Grahastha. So what is the difference between these two? Grahamedhi and Grahastha. So Grahastha is a person who enters into household life. Grahastha is actually an ashram. What is ashram? Where spiritual life is in center. Brahmachari ashram. A person is following brahmacharya for advancement in spiritual life. And then he feels that this situation, brahmacharya, is not very convenient for me. So let me change my position. Let me become grahastha, but not for enjoyment of senses, but for advancement of spiritual life. So those people who enter into household life for spiritual advancement, they are called grahasthas. Then vanprasth ashram. Any stage of life you can choose, but all those stages are only meant for spiritual advancement. That is why they are called ashramas. Sannyas ashram, grahastha ashram, vanprasth ashram, brahmacharya ashram. And there is another category of people which are predominant in society today. We don't blame anyone. All of us have been trained like that. And that is Graha Medhi. What is Medhi? Medhi means envy, envious. So a person who enters into household life for sensual enjoyment, such a person is called Graha Medhi. Why is called Graha Medhi envious? Because his pleasure just comes out of envy. What is the situation of typical householders? Almost everyone. The situation is everyone is working very, very hard. Why they are working very hard morning to evening? Because they are tremendously, we are all, not they, we all, it includes all of us. We have been trained like that. We all are very, very envious of our neighbors, of other human beings, of even our family members. पर दुखे सुखी पर सुखे दुखी. अगर दूसरे आदमी को सुख मिल जाए तो हमें बड़ा दुख मिलता है. अरे पड़ोसी के बेटा का सिलेक्शन हो गया, मेरे बेटे का ना, ओ माय गॉड माय हार्ट बर्न्स. अरे शर्मा जी का बेटा भी फेल हो गया, इसका भी सिलेक्शन नहीं हो, वेरी नाइस, माय हार्ट इज वेरी हैप्पी नाउ. ये भी फेल हो गया, वेरी नाइस. ऐसा ही होना था, इसको सेलेक्ट नहीं होना था. सो just like a person topped in some competitive examination, so there was a meme about it. So they told 1 minute of silence for all his cousins because they are going to hear for the next of the life, because topping in country is not easy, and usually there is a lot of comparison among the cousins. Just see, he or she is doing so nice, what have you done, what are you doing? Some minute of silence for all his cousins because they cannot even dream of achieving that thing. So this is Graha Medhi. Why we are working very, very hard? Is our need so much? No, the need is not so much, but the greed is so much, the envy is so much. I cannot see my neighbor, my brother, my sister, or some other person should have a bigger and better facility, house, car, or whatever than me, than myself. If he's having better job, better name, better fame, more marks, then my heart burns. So this is not allowed. So this competition, this competitive society, it can only exist where people are highly envious of each other. To give you a simple example, in a house, in a family, suppose there is limited food and there is only, let's say, one chapati remaining and two people are supposed to eat. Then what they will do? Will they fight and tear half chapati apart? No. What they will do? One person will tell, नहीं नहीं भाई तू ले ले, I am not hungry, मुझे भूख नहीं है, मैं तो सुबह ज़्यादा खा लिया था, you please take. So, because in family there is so called whatever a glimpse of love, a person will not compete for the limited food. A person, a family member would agree to go hungry so that दूसरे परिवार वाले को खाना मिल जाए. एक रोटी के लिए भले दो तीन लोगों को भूख लगी है, वो झगड़ा नहीं करेंगे. झगड़ा कब करेंगे? जब एनवी है, ईर्ष्या है आदमी को. तो हम लोग भाईचारे की बात करते हैं, वी शुड हैव ब्रदरहुड, वी शुड हैव ऑल दीज थिंग्स. अरे कैसा भाईचारा है कि आप कंपटीशन कर रहे हैं? क्यों कंपटीशन करना है? अपने भाई को बोलो, भाई यू प्लीज गो हेड, आई एम सेटिस्फाइड विद दिस थिंग, बट नो. So all this competition can exist only in an envious society. Everyone is envious. Why you score marks? एक नंबर कम आ गए, चार नंबर कम आ गए, उससे हाँ उससे कम नहीं आने थे. So this is the society. So this is called Graha Medhi. So because of this envy, a person's heart is always burning. Thus, the material nature punishes such a person by hard work. Entire life he has to work hard just to show off to others. It's a very horrible situation. Gramedi sukham hi tuchham. So all the pleasures which a householder enjoys, that is tuch, that is third class pleasure. It could be pleasure of any of the senses: eyes, ears, nose, tongue, belly, or reproductive organs. Methun adi, methun. Sex pleasure is highest pleasure of a householder. But Prahlad Maharaj, small boy, is telling these are third class pleasures. Why third class pleasures? Kandu yanena karayo riva dukkha dukkham. Kanduyanena karayah, kar means hands. Kanduyanena means kujli, itching sensation. So जिस तरह से sometimes some people have eczema, wet sores on their body and the pus is coming out and it itches like anything. और आप जैसे ही उसको scratch करेंगे, it increases, the itching sensation increases. You scratch more, it increases even more. And the sore increases and then it starts bleeding. Then you have to stop. So this is the situation of material pleasures. The more you satisfy, the more itching demand of the senses increases. Then what happens? Tripyanti neha kripana bahu dukha baja. Tripyanti means satisfaction. Na iha. There is no satisfaction for a materialist, how much ever he can try to enjoy senses. Just like we discussed the, anyway, so many celebrities not satisfied. Kripana, such a person is called Kripan. Kripan means miser, conjuice. He doesn't know how to enjoy the results of his activities, the result of his work, rather than enjoying directly if he uses in service of God. How much great pleasure he will get in life that he cannot have by direct enjoyment of the results. So there is one story in this connection. So there was a person, he was leper, suffering from leprosy. उसको कुष्ठ रोग हो गया था body में. But he had a very nice, dutiful wife. And this poor person was very nicely taken care of by his wife. But somehow this person, mental concocted pleasure, he heard about a prostitute, and the prostitute's name was Lakshahira, if I'm not wrong. So Lakshahira means you have to give so many pieces of diamond if you want to enjoy her. She was most beautiful of that region. And somehow he got attracted towards that prostitute. And he was thinking, how will I enjoy? When will I enjoy with that prostitute? So who can afford so many pieces of diamond to enjoy with the prostitute? So he started remaining unhappy. And the wife noticed that my husband, despite my best service, is not satisfied. So one day she asks the husband that, my dear husband, please tell me, what is my fault? Am I committing some mistake? Please let me know. How can I serve you better? You don't seem to be happy. So he revealed his heart. Actually, if you are asking the cause of my distress is, I want to enjoy with Lakshahira. So she felt very sad. But anyway, she was very, very dutiful. She thought, okay, so it is my duty. I love my husband. My pleasure lies in the pleasure of my husband. I should try to satisfy my husband. So being very simple lady, she thought now what to do. Now I cannot do any kind of earning by which I could afford Lakshira for my husband. So then she devised a plan. She went to Lakshira's house and she started doing all the menial jobs in her house. And then she was noticing that this new servant has come and she is doing all the things very, very nicely. Attitude is very good. And then she asked, you are doing very nice service. It is very good. I will keep you. So please let me know what do you want. But she would never ask for anything. She would just keep on serving. Then after many, many days of serving, she was surprised. And Lakshira asked her that please let me know who you are, why you are here. You are serving, you are not taking any salary, you don't demand anything. Please let me know what can I do for you. You have served me so nicely. I am very much pleased. What is the purpose? So she revealed, actually, this is the situation. My husband is a leper, poor person, and somehow he is mad after you. So if you can show me, you want to do me a favor, please do me this favor. Let my husband be satisfied. So then she told, okay, bring your husband, send your husband on this day, and I will satisfy him. So she sent the husband, and when the husband went there, then prostitute, she brought nice food items, rich food for the husband. So before enjoyment, rich food is served. So that is why it is told for those who are very sincere spiritualists, we should control the tongue. If we eat rich food a lot, then our senses will become agitated. So that is why simplicity in food, sattvic food, is very, very important for a spiritualist. So then she served very nice food, very rich food. And then she served a dish in a golden bowl and in an iron bowl also. And then he was puzzled. Why you served me the same thing in two kinds of bowls? What is the reason? No, no, you please taste it. Taste both the things. So he tasted from both the bowls. So she told, whether some difference you feel among the bowls? He told, no, I don't feel any difference. It is the same. So then she told, that is what you are trying to do here. The same pleasure which you enjoyed with your wife, you will get from my body also. But this pleasure is simply in a different bowl. So please do not become a madman. So this was a great teaching. So actually, a person is thinking, I'll get new pleasure, new pleasure. People are changing their partners, becoming very reckless, becoming very loose. But the same pleasure a person gets in different bowls. Actually, there is no pleasure, as science also has figured out. What a person gets is only some chemicals of the brain, some dopamine, as whatever they tell. So the pleasure is same. The same thing actually, that thing is not entering our body. Some chemical really is released here, and a person enjoys that chemical. And for this, a person thinks, I'll get here, I'll get there. Out of his mental concoction, he has created many, many desires. By doing this thing, I'll become happy. By doing that thing, I'll be happy. But this is all the same happiness which we have tasted life after life in different bowls. So these bodies are different bowls. So we are just enjoying. So that is why Prahlad Maharaj tells, Tripyanti Neha Kripana. He is a miser. He does not know how to use his resources. Just like if that lady, the wife of Brahmana, had she demanded some salary from the prostitute, with that salary she could never have afforded that prostitute. But she just rendered service without asking for any fruit of the activity, and she got something which was not possible otherwise. In a similar fashion, if a person works very hard, but he does not enjoy the fruit of his activity, but offers the fruit for the pleasure of Krishna, then he can get something which he cannot have by direct enjoyment of his resources. So a person who works hard just to enjoy the resources he produces, the money he produces, he is called Kripana, miser, कंजूस. उसको पता नहीं है कि उसका रिजल्ट वर्क का कैसे एंजॉय करना है. So because he is never satisfied, बहु दुख भाजा, he is always having great misery in his life. Kandu tivat manasijam. So here Prahlad Maharaj is telling it is manasijam. It is mentally concocted pleasure. He heard about the prostitute. A prostitute is so nice. Now he is mad after the prostitute. Had he not got the information that such a prostitute exists, then he would never have desired her hand. But kandutivat manasijam, mental concoction. So dhiraha, person who is sober, vishaheta dhira, he tolerates. Although if you have to tolerate, then also some itching will be there. But tolerating that itching sensation is much better than trying to scratch it. So thus, from this shloka and next shloka by Lord Krishna, which we will discuss, come the 5 principles of sense gratification. Manasijam, it is mental concoction, it is imaginary. Totally, we are simply chasing some imaginary pleasure. Somebody has told us this brand is very good. I want to have that brand. And then I'm working very hard. Oh, this thing is good, that thing is good, this post is good, that thing is good, and a person is running. Itching. The more you feed, the more movies you see, the more movie you want to see. The more varieties you feed your tongue, the more variety it demands for. Itching. Never satisfied. The more you sleep, the more you want to sleep. The more you drink, more becomes a desire. More you smoke, you become chain smoker. A person is never satisfied. Itching. It only increases. Third is salt. So this is also very interesting principle. Salt means a person once went to a restaurant and somebody told him, please order this dish. This is very nice. And then he ordered the dish, it came. And then he started eating. Told something is missing. Then this person told who had recommended, no, put some salt in it. And then you see wonderful taste will be there. So he put little salt and then he tasted. Oh, wow, it was so nice. So then this person applies logic. If by putting this salt, the dish has become so tasty, so let me put entire jar of salt and the food will become unlimitedly tasty. So this is called the salt principle of material happiness. So this is called logic. This is what is happening in the society. A person thinks, oh, if by having this much pleasure. I am I am having so much of happiness by doing this activity once. Let me do this activity many times over. Then I'll be very happy. So this is just like thinking, if by putting a pinch of salt, food becomes so tasty, let me put 1 kg of salt in it, and then food will become very tasty. No, sir. It will spoil the food. So in a similar fashion, yes, Krishna does not tell that you stop your sex life. Some people tell, Prabhu, to hum log kya sannyas le लें? So Krishna कहते हैं, no, that is not. But it should be within the marriage and for producing children. So Krishna tells, dharma viruddho bhuteshu kamo asmi bhartarshabha. The sex pleasure which is not against the religious principles, that is me, that is coming from me, but it should be for producing children, reproduction. And it is not very extraordinary thing. Before these modern things were introduced by the medical science, because of which a person is losing his health, his concentration, his brain, memory power, everything. So when artificial means contraceptives were not there, people would enjoy just for producing children, because child is natural contraceptive. You have to stop. So this thing is not known to people. So now they think, let us enjoy it unlimitedly. This in turn is making their life more and more miserable. So we can enjoy eating as long as eating is there just for the pinch, a pinch of eating. That means for keeping body and soul together. So all the material pleasures we can have, all the biological demand should be satisfied so that the body and soul can be together. If you want to sleep just for keeping body and soul together, then that sleep will satisfy you. If you want to eat just for keeping body and soul together, means to live, अगर इतना कम खाने लगे कि आपकी डेथ हो जाए तो ऐसा मत करिए, इतना खाइए कि आप you can sustain. We should eat to live, we should not live to eat. If you live to eat, eating will bring many diseases in your life. Eating will become the cause of all miseries in one's life. So thus, material sense enjoyment, eating, sleeping, mating, defending, should be done only to keep body and soul together. If you want to have more of it, it only increases misery in one's life. So this is the principle of Vedic culture. That is why Brahmana, he voluntarily lives in a poverty stricken condition. There's no risk of getting more money spending for sense enjoyment. Just my body and soul should be together. And when you are eating that food, obviously there would be pleasure in that food. And that much pleasure we are allowed to have for keeping body and soul together. So this is third principle. Material happiness, it is mental concoction. It is never satisfied. The tendency to enjoy more always keeps on expanding, and we can enjoy only in small proportion. ठीक है प्रभु, तो थोड़ा सा ही एंजॉय करने दीजिए ना, आप क्यों हमको बोल रहे हैं कि दिस इज नॉट गुड? ठीक है, आप थोड़ा सा भी अगर एंजॉय करना चाहते हैं, देयर इज अनदर प्रिंसिपल, दैट इज कॉइन. व्हाट इज कॉइन? जस्ट लाइक वी डिस्कस yesterday, happiness and distress are two sides of the same coin. Actually, there is no positive happiness in this material world. The absence of misery is taken as happiness. What is that? तो प्रभुपाद बताते हैं पहले, and we would have noticed, seen also in history, जब चोर को पकड़ा जाता था तो कई बार एक स्पेशल पनिशमेंट दिया जाता था. उसका सर पकड़ के पानी में डाल देते थे. His head would be dunked in water, and वो छटपटा रहा है, पानी अंदर जा रहा है, and just before the water is about to go in, before he loses his breath, his head is taken out, and then he feels some relief. And then before he has taken one breath, again his head is dunked in water back. And then again the water is going inside. And just when he's about to suffocate, his head is taken out, and then he feels relief. So this is the happiness of this world. Absence of misery is taken as happiness. So if you analyze, you will understand this is very important principle. A person, nobody knows him. So when he becomes little famous, he gets some promotion in his society, in his colony, in his a social circle, then he feels happiness because nobody was knowing me. Now some people know me, I'm getting some fame. So it is absence of misery. Nobody was knowing you, now some people know you. If a person was not very rich, he was traveling in general bogie of train, general compartment. When he starts traveling in sleeper class or he comes to third AC, he'll feel happy. If you move a person from first AC or second AC to third AC, बोलेगा slum में डाल दिया आपने मुझको, I will not stay here in this place. So thus, it is absence of misery which is taken as happiness. You were not having comfortable journey, now it is relatively comfortable, so you are feeling happiness in your life. So in a similar fashion, we can analyze in every perspective of life. We were not having money, we get little money, we become happy. So actually we were suffering from poverty stricken condition or less money. Now we are coming out of that, so we are feeling happiness. Body is very tired, then you try to sleep, then you feel happy. If body is not tired, you cannot enjoy the happiness of sleep. Exams put you under a lot of stress. So when exams are over, person becomes so happy. Ah, I am feeling very happy. Hmm? So why you are feeling this happiness? Because you have got nothing, but exams are over. You have come out of stress. So this is the coin principle actually. Happiness and distress are two sides of same coin. जैसे ही distress कम होती है उसको आप happiness मान लेते हैं. There is no positive happiness in material world. So thus only a foolish person works hard for. As soon as you are aspiring for happiness, उसके पीछे distress है उसका दूसरा portion. So a person should be very, very careful. No, 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 no. Material happiness, I should be very careful. I don't want, unless Krishna's pleasure is involved in this, because it comes with a concomitant distress. And last thing is accord. Even if you think, okay, let me have happiness mixed with distress, it is okay, but let me work hard for it. No, no, please don't work hard, because it comes of its own accord. Those people who cannot understand this point, please hear yesterday's session. I'll share the recording on 4th of May. So those people, I'll explain just little. Accord means we discussed in the laws of karma, whatever happiness and distress we have now, it is fixed as per activities of previous life. तो जो सो कॉल्ड मटेरियल हैप्पीनेस आपके पास आनी है या डिस्ट्रेस आनी है, वो पिछले जन्म के कर्मों के हिसाब से फिक्स हो जाती है. जिस तरह से आपका करंट अप्रेजल पिछले साल के जॉब के परफॉर्मेंस पे डिपेंड हो जाता है. अब इस साल आप कैसे जॉब करेंगे, आपको तुरंत सैलरी इंक्रीमेंट नहीं मिलेगा. आप साल भर अच्छे से काम करिए, अगले साल अप्रेजल में डिसाइड होगा आपकी सैलरी बढ़ेगी कितना बढ़ेगी. In a similar fashion, we get happiness or distress as per activities of dharma dharma of previous life. Hard work से कभी भी सुख नहीं मिलता, ये foolishness है. सुख, material happiness, name, fame, intelligence, money, opulence, skills, all these things a person gets by following dharma. What is dharma? By doing charity, by doing tapasya, doing lot of vrata, doing lot of this parikrama, standing in water when it is very cold, and putting burning fire all around you, sitting in hot sun, surrounded by fire. In this way, people would do rigorous tapasya. Chaturmasya, when it rains, 4 months are of rigorous tapasya for people. So all these tapasyas are recommended so that a person can improve his next birth. He can have various facilities. So by doing yajna, by doing dan, and by doing tapasya. By these activities, a person increases his material name, fame, beauty, opulence in life, in next life. Hard work never increases your happiness. So in this life, if you want to work hard for material happiness, even though you realize these principles are correct, still you cannot change it because it comes of its own accord. Thus, because material happiness is mental concoction, it is itching, it always increases. The more you satisfy, it is like salt, you cannot enjoy more than a pinch of it, and that pinch also comes with a concomitant distress, and your hard work cannot change it for this life. Thus a person is not supposed to work hard for increasing material happiness in his life. So thus all these shlokas are very, very powerful. Human life is meant to realize these shlokas. We celebrate holy festivals so that we can read the teachings of Prahlad Maharaj. Now that has also become sense gratification, sense enjoyment. So Lord Krishna also tells, Yehi sansparjaja bhoga dukha yonaya evate. The enjoyment of sensual pleasures, dukha yonaya, it gives rise to misery, because these pleasures are nothing but addictions. हम सब समझते हैं कि एडिक्शन इज नॉट अ गुड क्वालिटी ऑफ प्लेजर. ड्रिंक करना, ड्रग्स लेना, स्मोक करना, ये अच्छा तरीका नहीं है हैप्पीनेस पाने का. आदमी कुछ समय के लिए दुख को भूल जाता है. एंड इफ यू एनालाइज, जितने भी सेंसेस का एंजॉयमेंट है, सब कुछ एडिक्शन ही है. व्हाट इज एडिक्शन? एडिक्शन मीन्स आर्ट, यू फॉरगेट द मिजरी and artificially you create up some demand in life. A person can live without cigarette very nicely, but when he starts smoking, he cannot live without cigarette. सो उसी तरीके से सारे सेंसेस की जो भी इंजॉयमेंट है, दैट इज एडिक्शन. आर्टिफिशियल नेसेसिटीज आर क्रिएटेड इन लाइफ, एंड देन वी वर लिविंग वेरी हैप्पीली विदाउट इट. बिना मूवीज के लाखों सालों से लोग रह लिए धरती पे. नाउ दे कैन नॉट लिव विदाउट वॉचिंग सम वीडियोज एंड मूवीज. आर्टिफिशियल नेसेसिटी हैज बीन क्रिएटेड इन लाइफ. So, just like addiction is not good happiness, we have to realize all enjoyment of senses is nothing but addiction. And thus it never satisfies. So Krishna tells, Dukkha yonaya, enjoyment of senses only creates misery. Nobody teaches us the simple facts in school. सब बच्चों को गलत सिखाया जा रहा है, क्योंकि पेरेंट्स को भी नहीं पता है. वो सोचते हैं सेंस एंजॉयमेंट ही है में लाइफ का. So this is very nice video. How a monkey gets caught. So I will share this in Telegram channel. So monkey appears to be very intelligent animal when you visit the zoo. But how a monkey gets caught? So very nicely it is depicted here. So this person will be putting some nuts in that hole, ant hill. And then monkey sitting at a distance. So he is very inquisitive, very curious. What is there in that hole? And that hole is so small that open hand of monkey can enter, but as soon as monkey closes his fist so that he can take that grabful, that handful of nuts out, then his hand gets stuck. Only the open fist can go out and come out. So monkey was able to insert his hand, but then as soon as he closes his fist, because of the narrowness of the hole, his hand gets stuck over there in the hole. And then he thinks, oh, somebody has caught me, somebody has caught me. And the monkey starts crying. He doesn't understand, nobody has caught the monkey. Only desire for taking the nuts out has made the monkey nuts, and he has got caught in that hole. So anyway, he cannot enjoy those nuts. But a monkey loses its freedom in a hope that he will enjoy those nuts one day. This similar mentality is making us also nuts. These material nuts, material pleasure person thinks, one day my material life will be settled. I'll be very, very happy here. सब कुछ बहुत अच्छा हो जाएगा. But बंदर के जैसे हम हाथ बांध लेते हैं, let me enjoy. And anyway, we never are satisfied in material life. And a person gets stuck in material laws, keeps on taking birth and dying life after life. So I'll share this video. Please watch. Very, very, very instructive video. So sometimes they use a banana kept in a jar, sometimes some nuts kept in anthill. In this way, monkeys are caught and then sent to zoos. So what is the solution? प्रभु आपने तो डिप्रेस कर दिया हमको, हमारी लाइफ बर्बाद है. So we are envious, we are ग्रह मेधी, ये 5 प्रिंसिपल हमको जीने नहीं देंगे, एंजॉय नहीं करने देंगे. So what is the solution? No, no, don't worry. There is a solution. We all can become very happy very easily. So actual fact is, the happiness is not result of satisfying the senses. That is simply addiction, we understood. The happiness we derive in direct proportion to the sattvic energy we have in our body. That feeling of satisfaction and happiness, that is nothing but presence of sattva guna in our body. What are these 3 gunas? We will discuss in our Bhagavad Gita classes, which we are going to start day after tomorrow. As soon as we finish this Jigyasa session, we will cover 1 shloka every day of Bhagavad Gita. So the more we have sattva in our body, the more we will be materially happy. So material happiness means absence of distress. We'll be peaceful. There won't be stress in life. So if a person sleeps on time and gets up early in Brahm Muhurta, he takes cold water bath before sunrise, and most importantly, chants Hare Krishna Mahamantra and eats only sattvic food. He associates with sattvic people. So he has to increase, he reads sattvic literature, has a sattvic lifestyle, sattvic endeavor, sattvic thoughts, sattvic speech. So if a person maintains sattva in his life in this way, and the most important is chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, it immediately brings a person to sattvic platform. And eating sattvic food, vegetarian food without onion garlic, which is offered to Krishna, Shuddha sattvic food. So all these things are very, very important. And maintaining a balanced, regulated lifestyle. So how to maintain sattvic lifestyle, we'll discuss in our Bhagavad Gita sessions. But the more we have sattva in our life, the more we'll be happy materially. And when the sattva increases, then a person finally, he gets freed from the laws of nature. This is called happiness of liberation. Liberation means a person does not take more material bodies, does not enjoy more addictive happiness, but He is able to free himself from the process of birth and death. However, this happiness is also not the ultimate happiness. Ultimate happiness is actually devotional service. So we can also understand what is this devotional service. Just like here, we have discussed before also, why a man will work hard entire life and spend all the money on few people who are not working. Wife is sitting in house the entire, their children are playing around, and then the man is working very hard, spending all money for his wife and children. Why? Because he gets some pleasure in their service. So there is a pleasure in serving children, in serving wife, in serving even animal, your pets. There is some pleasure derived. In a similar fashion, God is also a person. When we engage in service of God, there is extraordinary pleasure derived. And what is the nature of that pleasure? That is described here. Krishna tells. Thus, Krishna tells in Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita describes all the yoga, all the processes. And then finally, Lord Krishna tells, now, Arjun, I am telling you the most secret knowledge. Sarva guhyatamam bhuya shunu me paramam vachaha. Now here the most confidential, most secret knowledge. What is the topmost knowledge? Man mana bhava mad bhakto. Nobody teaches this about Bhagavad Gita. Man mana, think of me always. Bhav mad bhakto, become my devotee. Madhyaji mam namaskuru. So please worship me and offer respects to me. Just like a father teaches the child to offer respects, Krishna is teaching, I am your eternal relative, eternal father. Please have loving relationship with me. You love me, think of me, engage in my service. Mame Vaishyasi Satyam Te Pratijane Priyosi Me. So Krishna is telling, by doing this thing, definitely you will come to me. Automatically, the purpose of all the yoga, liberation, everything is attained, and you get very extraordinary kind of happiness. So this is the topmost instruction of Bhagavad Gita, which Krishna repeats twice in Bhagavad Gita. In 9th chapter we saw last month, and in 18th chapter again Krishna repeats at the end. And this is witnessed by all the devotees. Yamunacharya, the spiritual master of stalwart Vaishnava Ramanujacharya tells, Yamunacharya was a king before. So Yamunacharya tells, Yadavadhi mama cheta Krishna padar vinde navnavarasa dhamni uddat rantu masit. So I was a king before, and I was having various pleasure. The kings usually indulge in enjoying wine and women. So he's telling, I am enjoying newer and newer pleasures now that I have become a renunciant, a sadhu, simply by Mam Cheta Krishna Padara Vinde. I am thinking of the lotus feet of Krishna within my heart. Usually we want to see various different paintings, different pictures, and different videos, but he's telling I am seeing just the same lotus feet. And by meditating on the same lotus feet of Krishna, what is happening? Navanavarasa, newer and newer pleasure are coming from meditating on same lotus feet. And Tadavadi but Nari Sangam Smarrimane, when I get some thoughts of my previous material enjoyment that I had as a king, Bhavatu Mukha Vikar, my mouth curls in distaste, and I spit at that thought. Oh, what third kind of, what rotten pleasure I was having at that time. That was no pleasure at all. So just see how much pleasure is there in simply thinking of lotus feet of Krishna. So this is the object of all yogis. Dhyana vastita tadgatena manasa. A yogi is thinking of the form of Krishna, Krishna's feet within his heart. Yogi hrid dhyana gamyam. Yogi tries to always keep lotus feet of Krishna within his heart. And the pleasure which he gets is newer and newer pleasure, not the it becomes stale. Oh, bore हो गया, अब कुछ और देखना है, कुछ और सोचना है. No, this is spiritual life. Material life में आदमी को चीजें change करना है. Now different song, now different song. But devotees, they sing and hear the same song. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And they are getting newer and newer pleasure by this song. The same song. Same Krishna's lotus feet they are seeing every day. But newer and newer pleasure is coming by seeing the same lotus feet of Krishna. Same Bhagavad Gita, same shlokas they are reading day after day. Same lectures they repeat over and over again. But the same shloka, same book, same subject matter, it gives newer and newer pleasure to the devotees. Other world people want to change. Oh, this story is done, Harry Potter is done, let me read something else, let me go to something else. They want to change. Let me see now new movie, newer thing. Here they want to see the same movie, same activities of Krishna, and it gives new pleasure. This is spiritual life. We need not change things, simply stick to spiritual things, it will give newer pleasure. And when a person gets spiritual pleasure, this material pleasure, a person spits at the thought, mouth curls in distaste. So this ecstasy, extraordinary spiritual pleasure, which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu mercifully showed in his incarnation, it is only available by spiritual indulgence. Material nature cannot give us everlasting happiness. And it is that happiness, because we are spirit souls, we have experience for unlimited pleasure. That is why people want to keep on sleeping unlimitedly, eating unlimitedly, but the body imposes restrictions. So that pleasure, unlimited pleasure, is only possible on spiritual platform. So this meditation upon lotus feet of Krishna, for which yogis would go to Himalayas, do various things, that is possible in Kali Yuga only by following the process for this age. In Satyug it was Dhyayato Vishnu. We saw in Real Yoga Treta Yam by Yagyas, Dwapar Yuga by deity worship, Kalau Tad Hari Kirtanad. In Kali Yuga, simply by chanting the holy names of Lord very, very attentively, we will get that pleasure. So thus it is very important science. All of you please try to meditate upon this, what we have discussed. Try to realize it is not very difficult to understand. The highest pleasure is available for free. So please don't neglect it. Every day with commitment, try to, with great attention and love and respect, try to chant and hear attentively these holy names. And then you will see how nice the life is when we start getting even first glimpse of that spiritual pleasure. So this is actually the heart of happiness, the art of happiness. So thank you so much. Now we will stop this